They entered the old clinic as 2, but the records show 3. They stepped into the abandoned building nearly 30 years after it was shut down. St. Mary's Clinic was closed after a series of unexplained patient disappearances. Locals claimed that voices still remained inside. That night, Emily and Jacob went in. They wanted to film a documentary about abandoned places, but at the entrance they encountered something that was not outside before. A fresh handprint was pressed on the inside of the glass. Emily was an aspiring journalist. She was searching for a story that would change her career. Jacob was her friend and camera operator. He did not believe in anything supernatural, but he agreed to come. They entered through a side door, left slightly open. Inside, the air smelled of damp walls and old medicine. The corridors stretched deep into darkness. Old room numbers still hung on the walls. At first, they heard footsteps above them, slow and steady, like someone walking the floor. Jacob pointed the camera upward, but nothing was there. They climbed the staircase. Every step creaked under their weight, but the footsteps always stayed above them, one level ahead. On the second floor, they found a nurse's station. A patient logbook was left on the desk. The last official entry was dated 1993, but beneath it, a new line had appeared. Fresh, recent. It contained one name, Emily. She tried to joke about it, but her voice cracked. Jacob checked the page with his fingers. The ink was still wet. At that moment, the door behind them shut. No wind, no sound. When they turned around, the corridor had grown longer. Emily noticed a mirror on the wall. It had not been there before. In the reflection, they stood together. But between them, a third shape flickered. They turned instantly. Nothing was behind them. Panic spread too quickly. Jacob suggested they leave immediately. They went down the stairs, but it led them back up again. The footsteps were now close. Too close and too slow. Emily looked into the mirror again. The third shape became clearer. It was standing right beside her, but only Jacob was there. She began reading the logbook aloud. New lines appeared as she spoke, describing their actions in real time. The final entry was already written. Patient admitted. Second companion will not leave the building. Jacob froze. He realized it was referring to him. The lights in the hallway flickered, and when they returned, Jacob was gone. The camera dropped to the floor, still recording. On the footage, Emily is calling his name, but only footsteps answer her, right beside her. The recording was found 3 days later. Police recovered the camera at the clinic entrance. Emily was found inside one of the rooms. She claimed she had been alone the entire time, but the audio clearly contains a second voice. How do you explain what happened inside that clinic? And who was writing in the logbook all along? Subscribe. There are many more stories here that locals refuse to talk about.